Hey, Mike with Mike's Bags, and today I am reviewing the Mercenary by BG. Let's go ahead and dive in and break down this bag here. We'll start with the slow side. This is the Viking slow side, the Viking carpet here. It's a very controllable material. It's very sticky. It's fun for playing that dirty style game with it. You can shape shots with it. You can make it do pretty much anything you want to do. It's a wonderful material. 4-speed, normal conditions. It actually plays a little better in humidity when the boards start getting damp and sticky from humid conditions. It actually will pick up a little speed, play a little faster. So it's a wonderful humidity type material. So for the slow side, fast side, this is that Wizard fast side, the game changer, surefire fast side. It's that 8.5 speed material, fast, somewhat controllable, slides at the board in most conditions. It's great for pushing through, cleaning up messes on the board. So we've got the Viking slow side paired with the Wizard fast side for this Mercenary. This bag kind of falls right in between the two, really, because if you like to throw the Wizard, but maybe you have a hard time with that slow or the fast side of the Wizard, pushing and collecting, this is a great bag because it has a little faster fast side, so you can push through and collect easier on the sticky side. Or maybe you throw the Wizard, but you want a bag that has a little more control, maybe something a little bit slower, but you like the fast side, then this has the same fast side as the Wizard, but that slow side of the Viking, so it'll slow it down a little bit. So it kind of falls right between the two, that 4.7 of the Viking and that 5, 8.5 of the Wizard. And here you've got a 4, 8.5, so it fills that gap right in between there. It's a wonderful bag. It's probably one of the most overlooked bags for BG. In fact, I've overlooked it for a long time. Recently, I've been watching the ACL and Fisher Hamilton. I think this is kind of his bag of choice, this Mercenary. And I just watched him throw and just seeing how well he throws that bag. I had to get my hands on set of these to get through that too. So anyway, it's a Viking slow, Wizard fast. The template on here is that medium template, same template that you get on the 2023 Vikings and Wizards. That medium template. It's a fuller bag. I mean, these bags are really broken, so they've got some flop to them, but they've still got quite a bit of fill. It's definitely a full bag. You can really get a good hand fill on this. It's that same Viking Wizard mixed fill, mostly bead fill in here. There's a ton of beads, got a ton of bounce to it, ton of movement to it. It's definitely a bag designed for bouncing and rolling and flopping and cutting and doing all those crazy shots with them. But it is a wonderful bag. I really did enjoy throwing it. You'll see here, I actually had a lot of success throwing it. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into playability on the. Oh, one more thing, these are ACL Pro Stamped for 2023 as well, if there's been ACL bad. So playability on this is a bag really that it's a skilled bag, or a bag designed for a skilled player. And what I mean is it's not the easiest bag to put in the hole. It's not the easiest bag to throw. If you don't have a flat bag, this bag is going to kick on you pretty hard. It's going to land. Even when you throw a flat bag, you can watch these videos. These bags don't really slide very much as they kind of hop and bounce and walk up the board. They have so much movement, so much action on them. But if you're not prepared to throw that, used to throwing it, they can be a little frustrating to throw. They're not super forgiving around the hole. This material is very sticky, and there are times where the bags will hang up, and you've got to be pretty aggressive to collect them. You've got to go after them. If a bag's hanging up on there, just sliding a bag in the hole at time or time again is not going to be enough to bring it in. You've got to come out with a cut shot and catch it, or throw it airmail drag and pop it in, but you've got to go after it. And so it's a very skilled bag. However, if you put this bag in the right player's hands, someone who knows how to take advantage of what it can do, this bag is phenomenal. And I have a blast throwing bags like this. They're so much fun because of the different shots you can do with this bag you can't do with other bags. So you can, I'm not a roll bag thrower, but this is a bag that I can get some roll on. I can get some movement on. I love throwing cut shots this bag because you can almost get this bag to make just like it almost makes a 90-degree turn. If you get that right angle on it, you can get this bag just to cut pretty hard and get around. It's a fun bag for like bouncing over your opponents. If they throw blockers up there, you can throw a bag, land right behind their bag. It'll hit, it'll pop right over, bounce right over, and go in and leave their bag there. You can frustrate your opponent time and time again because they can put bags in front of the hole all they want, and you can just get around. And that's where I think this bag shines. And I mentioned this a lot with the Viking. I play this a lot because it's the same slow side. I play similar to what I play the Viking in the sense that I'm not so much wanting to play a dirty style game with this bag. And nothing you can't. You can throw blockers. You can put this bag over on the board. The problem is it's a tough bag to collect. Now, you do have the faster fast side, so if you come in, you can come in pretty hard. You just got to land. You got to land further back, because if you land too close, you're going to bounce over your top of the bag. You're going to bounce over your. You got to land further back. Let the bag settle. Let it hit, kind of bounce, settle, and then push through. You do have to be careful because this faster fast side will sometimes get moving too fast for this blocker, the sticky bag. And what happens is the bag will hit, start to move, and this fast side just kind of has so much momentum, it wants to kick off to the side before it gets this bag going. And you'll collect this bag, but then you end up with your bag sitting off to the side, one side or the other. So you have to be really careful and be really intentional about coming down the middle and really pushing hard. Because if you come to either edge or either side of the bag, if you come to clip a corner, not saying you can't, but there's a good chance that you will kick your bag off. Now, that also means it's hard for your opponent to collect or to push through, which means if you're playing an opponent who's not used to pushing through blockers, throw a blocker by all means. Let them kick off, and then you could come through. Because it is a collectible bag. As full as it is, you could just come through and clip a corner and see it. They're not going to accordion up like a looser flopper bag. They're very collectible. Just be aware of the hop and just be aware of the speed. And so, like, if I'm throwing these bags, and I'll throw slick side to collect, I throw a little more of a loft, a little softer, because there's enough speed here that it'll push through. You just don't want to come in too hot. You'll kick off. The other thing is, like I said, the cut shots, you can make this bag, move it left to right, right to left, however you want to. You can roll it, you can flop it. I mean, it's a wonderful bag for just being creative and getting around. And that's where I think it shines. And so, like I was mentioning with the way I play the Viking is I tend to pull a bag out like this more when I'm playing an opponent who has a sticky bag, who plays a dirty style game. So if my opponent pulls out something like a Black Sheep OG2, a Contraband Combat, maybe a Wizard, something where I know they're going to be throwing blockers and putting bags in my way, I want something like this so I can just get around their bag, get around, leave their bags, make them collect their own blockers. I don't want to collect them for it. And this bag is wonderful for that. It will sneak around bags so well. And honestly, this bead film here, I talk about the bag not being really hole friendly because this material sticks up. I will say the bead fill helps that a little bit because if you can just get those beads moving, these bags will slide right in with enough speed. And that's a big thing with this bag is having the speed right, because the other aspect of this bag is playing is if you're a hard thrower, this is a great bag. This is a wonderful material because if you throw hard enough, and I don't, sometimes if I want to play hole for hole, I'll get a bag this where I just want to throw hard, throw a little more power, throw hard. You can actually push with the speed, force the bag to kind of play through that balance, through that hop, and force the slide in. And if you get enough speed on that bag, if they can just get in the hole, little momentum, it'll drip in. These beads want to go, they want to cascade, they're going to fall in, they're going to drag the bag in. So, the bag is hole friendly, but not hole friendly, kind of in that sense. Again, like I said, this material is going to hang because it is a 4-speed. It's sticky. It's got some friction to it. It's not going to just drip in on its own. But if you get bags up there and you have enough speed, they'll grab and come in. Or you get them up there, you get another bag coming in, and you bump into it and get them moving. They'll drip right in. So they're still collectible. They're going to play around the hole. Again, it's not a bag it's not a great bag if you're a beginner or a novice player. It's not the best bag to start out with. Just because of all the movement, all the bounce, it's going to penalize you. Again, if you're not throwing a perfectly flat bag, it's going to penalize you. Now, again, you can play that kick if you got to it. You can turn it into a cut. You can make that work to your advantage. But it's more, to me, this is more of a skilled bag throwers type bag. But that's okay. BG has a broad lineup of bags. If you're a beginner, there are other bags that are probably better suited for you than this. Although I will say, this is also a great practice bag because if you practice with this bag and you get to where you can put this bag in the hole consistently, and then you go grab, a BG shapeshifter, for example, something that's a little bit more of a slide type bag, and you start throwing those, and the forgiveness of that type of bag, you're gonna be amazed at how much better you are. Because if you can, you have to be more precise with this bag. So if you can learn to throw a bag like this Mercenary or the Viking or even a Wizard to some degree, then that makes you a better player when you get one of those just slide types, more forgiving, a little bit floppier type bag. So, if you're looking to improve your game, this is a good investment to get into. I find myself, after I throw this bag in a review, if I grab another, in fact, the day I did the review of these Mercenaries, I had another bag that was more like a Surefire type bag. I started throwing that, and I was amazed how much better, how much more accurate I was throwing that bag right after I threw this one because of what I had to do to focus, I had to take, and how precise to be here, it translated on. And so it's a wonderful bag to practice with, but it is a fun bag. And if you want to see what this bag really can do, go watch Fisher Hamilton throw that, watch him in the ACL events. I mean, he's won a lot of matches with this bag. The way he moves this bag up his back is just phenomenal to watch. It's amazing, and it's a great bag if you want to learn to throw a roll, learn to throw a cut, something like that. It's a wonderful bag to do with. Anyway, it was video availability. BG's website, BGCornhole.com. You can go there. I'll put a link description for you as always. The bags, the Mercenaries, I think the standard design, I went on there and looked, it was like $95. A couple, they're a little bit pricier than some other designs. standard design was $95. Now BG is doing a phenomenal job with their designs. They have all kinds of options. You've got the standard BG logo design that I used to always complain about how boring it was, but now they've come out with all kinds of different designs and styles and colorways. They give you a ton of options. BG's doing a phenomenal job in the design department. So you get a ton of options to choose from. $95 for standard. I think it's like 10 or 11 bucks shipping. So it's probably right down the middle. It's not the cheapest bag by far, but it's not the most expensive bag. I think it's a great bag for that price. BG makes high quality bags. I love my BG bags. And this is a bag that, like I said, if you throw that Viking, but you want something a little bit faster, or you throw the Wizard, which wasn't a little more control, this falls right in the middle of those two bags. It's a great bag to add to your lineup. So check them out. Let me know if you're throwing them. I'd love to hear your opinion on those. I always love your guys' feedback. So I thank you so much for watching, and thank you for the support.